5 subtle clues that she's interested in you. Welcome to Channel Lady's Secret. Welcome back to my. When channel women appear, they are drenched. These 5 female secret indicators. Have you ever pondered how to understand psychology? Interpret the hidden cues that women provide when they're genuinely interested in. It is well known that attraction is as a lot of subtle, unsaid acts as. Too many men is about chemistry. Overlook these indicators not because they're invisible, however because to their invisibility, in the eyes of the untrained, old. When a stoic man observes, stoic wisdom appears. He doesn't chase what other people ignore. Confirmation that he sees clearly and behaves in a purpose. So allow me to ask, have you ever felt like you were being drawn to a woman at a single instant, then removing the... Secondly, that tugging isn't always. Sometimes it's a language barrier. Today, you will discover 5 subtle. She is into you, but these are not techniques or gimmicks that have their origins in emotional truth and human psychology. These actions demonstrate a woman's sincere interest before she even says a word. You get more by comprehending them. Compared to attraction, you acquire emotional intelligence, self-assurance, and relationship. The reason this matters is that when a man misinterprets these signals and either acts in, either quickly or completely loses his moment, but when his vision improves, he constructs relationships based on respect for one another rather than misplaced optimism. He moves with power instead of desperation. He recognizes attraction is more than just desire. Regarding time, trust, and shared energy, you have an advantage because of his understanding, but furthermore, it brings you tranquility. A stoic man doesn't require games. He just sees things as they are. Distinguishes him. Thus remain with me by the time this video ends, you'll be prepared. Having the ability to read between the lines and at last comprehend what she's telling you the truth without ever saying a. The truth is that women frequently express their interest in each other in manners that are nonverbal, and when you acquire literacy, using these cues, you can reach a completely new level of... Now, let's begin with the psychology of women. Have you ever pondered the reason for attraction? Women are attracted to particular characteristics or actions that hold the key to the solution. For centuries, evolutionary psychology, women are hardwired to look for attributes that signify stability and strength. Emotional stability. This goes beyond physical prowess. It's about qualities like self-assurance, focus, and the capacity to produce a secure emotional space. This is the exciting part, but men frequently react to women's visual clues, are more prone to be impacted by psychological and emotional triggers. What does that signify to you? For most women, that is what counts most, is not the vehicle you drive or the manufacturer of. How you make people feel is what your watch is all about. When a woman feels listened, respected, and seen, it fosters a strong feeling of connectedness that transcends a physical attraction. But this is the point at which difficult attraction isn't necessarily. Simple women talk a lot. Attention by subtly displayed actions, and confusion may result from failing to notice these clues or overlooked opportunities, which is why recognizing these signs is vital when you are able to identify the distinction between real attraction and an informal friendship. You acquire the self-assurance to behave properly and stay away from mistakes. It's important to pay attention to patterns. One action by itself might not indicate a lot, but when you notice several indicators aligning, you can tell there's something more profound is happening. Sign one subtly makes a move that is subtle, so quiet, it can be overlooked, but when you understand it, it speaks for itself. The stoic man was calm, perceptive, and this is one of the older ones, yet grounded. Most significant indicators that a woman is interested in. You imagine yourself immersed in dialogue, and as you say this, your fingers lightly brush across yours, or maybe she leans a little bit closer, and She emphasizes her statements by touching your arm. Perhaps her hand lingers for a brief period. When she chuckles, she stays on your shoulder longer. These aren't random acts. Despite your joke, they are deliberate cues concealed in. They are gentle invitations into her world as the contemporary globe shifts. Fast touch is timeless and primordial. It's how people used to communicate long ago. The way that words were created psychologically is one of the first ways that we develop trust. And relationship for women, particularly those who navigate life with an awareness of emotions. Tiny accents that can serve as cues for both. She uses comfort and curiosity as a means of narrowing the gap and checking the water to check whether you'll run into her. These touches are rarely made halfway. Unintentional, they resemble whispers from her soul, implying a longing for intimacy without the stress of stating it clearly. In the modern day, where everything is text-based and digital, messages, the physical touch stands for emojis. Out more than before, it's uncommon, and it's genuine, and it's dangerous, which is why it's important. An individual who adheres to Stoic wisdom doesn't simply respond to what he sees, considers, and choose to use grace for his response. So what should you do if you observe these indicators? You don't draw away or rush in. You remain focused and give back in kind, not within excess. If she lightly touches your arm, perhaps reciprocate the touch when you're pointing out anything or helping her with a door might express that I respect you and I see you. Don't do that now. Avoid falling into the trap of overanalyzing, doubting every action, which isn't what. Instead, the Stoic is present and allows the energy develop organically. Have faith in your gut, but more significantly, have faith in your self-control due to the way you manage. She learns everything from these little times about your identity in a noisy world. Shallow signs and gestures. It's in the silent, deliberate touches that are real. Often, attraction starts with let it build, not with presence, but with force. Remain sensible, stay grounded, and never forget, even when a woman opens that door, it's your stillness a little bit, not your speed, that will encourage her to continue. Stepping closer, sign 2, making time a priority with. When a woman genuinely feels something for you, she will always find time for you. No matter how hectic her schedule is, perhaps it won't always be lavish or ostentatious, but even the slightest actions, such as recommending a unofficial coffee meetup, to arrange a weekend, either working together or spending some time, checking with you to let you know that she appreciates having you in her life. The world's fast-paced period has emerged as one of our most valuable assets, and when she clearly dedicates hers to you, message stating that she notices anything unique, someone worthy of her exists in you. Investment is the process of giving you priority. Says a lot about how she feels, demonstrating not only curiosity, but also a greater degree of attention and link. This is a significant expression of love because as time is limited, as any Stoic would tell you, and the way we decide to spend it shows a lot about our principles. If she chooses to, spending it with you indicates that you are a person who enhances her life and is important to her heart. So what makes this important? Since there is more to it than simply the act of time spent together, is about the work and purpose that went into it. Is she not simply fitting you? Throughout her hectic day, she's actively creating room for you and putting you in a place of significance in her life. How should you react to this obvious indication of love? Recognizing her is the best course of action. Effort, a straightforward but sincere thank you for setting aside time for me, is a sign of recognition that expresses your appreciation for the enthusiasm and consideration she has given to the relationship. After the expression of appreciation, it's crucial to return the gesture by being really present, involved, and give her the impression that you appreciate. She cherishes your time just as much as she does yours. equating her work with hers and demonstrating that. You are equally prepared to set priorities. You strengthen the bond with her and establish a setting in which you two can expand, nearer in the modern world where there are countless diversions and time is frequently the most difficult thing to find such. Setting priorities is not simply sweet. They are strong indicators of sincere curiosity and sentimental. Investment symbol 3 realize. Speak with one of the most subtly effective telltale signs that a woman is interested in you, in what she says, but in what she sees, ancient, primal, and able to communicate. When a woman looks at you, it says volumes. A fraction of a second longer than what's seen as informal that pauses so subtly. The inexperienced, I might overlook it, bears the burden of a spoken emotion. This is a look, not just a glance, that lingers purposefully and is packed with. Her pupils may gently dilate with intent. She softens her look, and there's a feeling of warmth like though she's disappointing. A protected area of. She is aware that this isn't about seduction. Regarding making eye contact with the Stoics would acknowledge that it is a reflection of the soul. We have 2 ears, as Epicus famously stated, and 1 mouth, allowing us to hear twice as we speak, but during times of keep quiet so that the eyes can do all the listening, and every one of the speaking throughout those extended eye contact. She's saying in a quiet voice, I see. I wish to acknowledge your presence. To take note of me as well in this day and age of distractions and gestures of performance. Unfiltered connections like this are uncommon and significant because it demonstrates trustworthiness and a readiness to be. Observe that such a period is where elderly wisdom and contemporary knowledge collide as, according to Marcus Aurelius, the soul becomes colored by the hue of its ideas when her eyes and mind are pulled to you. Will show it if you're there. Sufficient to observe, and that's the struggle to stay present and not get lost in. Insecurity does not divert desire, rather, rooted in your own serene self-assurance. So when you notice this get together, her eyes were not needy or haughty, yet with calm awareness, allow your eyes respond with assurance and calmness, adding a tiny, genuine smile that isn't forced on you, are involved and you don't fear. Closeness is an energetic dance, not dominance. It's gentle respect. Reciprocal, as the Stoics instructed us to. Before attempting to master ourselves, to comprehend others, you must first observe them, without hurrying without. Stop overanalyzing, and the symptoms will disclose themselves. Now ask yourself, have you ever been the target of this type of stare? Did you notice it coming from a woman? Throw it away and tell your tale in the. Nevertheless, your experience may be exactly what a man needs to hear. Acknowledge his own. Active listening moment indication for and involved. Answers from a woman who genuinely likes you. Feels more than simply what you say. She leans into them, but not because she's cold, but because she is drawn to you like warmth in the winter. Her gaze stays fixed. She nods, keeping her focus fixed, mimics your movements and laughs without laughing, of civility, but because she feels a desire to. It's not a coincidence that they connected psychology and behavior that the ancient Stoics comprehended. Marcus Aurelius once wrote this well. The hue of the soul is absorbed by its ideas when a female listens intently. She's letting your thoughts in her presence paint her world, even if only briefly. That is strong and not arbitrary, not informal, and in this contemporary world, where more people scroll than talk, the rarest kind of tension is total focus. Of closeness, she's not merely reacting. That buddy of mine is yours, and she is engaged. Signal, trigger, and moment, but first, will you pass the test or falter? A true Stoic attracts rather than chases. By being there rather than performing, you don't have to speak directly. You must listen if you want to impress. Back completely, purposefully, and intently look at her. Don't drift. Her enthusiasm is matched in her eyes. Don't rely solely on small talk, inquiries that disclose the soul's surface What motivates you? What is it? Though you rarely express it, you have strong beliefs. Where genuine connections are found, and that's where attraction thrives rather than in techniques, but in reality, your capacity to stay grounded as the globe revolves. This is not about acting fake around you. This is about being interested, curious, since a lady who feels. When a lady opens up to you, you don't forcefully open the heart to reveal it. Keep in mind that focus is the value of relationship. She puts money into you that indicates that don't fumble it and answer. Like a monarch who sees worth when it is available. If you've noticed this in your, I can now see the signals in the life remark below. Evidently, and if this resonated with you, if it ignited something within you, that you don't just scroll through the video and leave a comment, ideas, and become a subscriber to this channel. Stoicism prevails since this trip is just getting started. You're not only here to recognize the women you are here to control, you yourself. Sign 5 for amusing taunting, or this is where the dance of flirtation takes place. Attraction turns into something subtle and amusing when a female starts to make jokes that aren't too serious, put you in jest or in a light-hearted manner over. Like who makes the better coffee or the overrated film that she's signaling, not just being amusing. This isn't simply arbitrary humor, interest. You've ignited her with your deliberate charm, curiosity, and she's currently putting the rivers with wit as per Stoic. Emotions, wants, and knowledge frequently disclose themselves in action rather than merely speaking. Consider what Marcus Aurelius taught you. Control your thoughts, not the outer world. Circumstances recognize this, and you'll discover power when a woman feels secure in her mischievous side easily comes out, since flirtatious freedom is bred by safety. In this way, it turns into an emotive. She's shaking hands and opening a door to check if you'll go through it, with assurance from a psychological perspective. Teasing dismantles barriers. Rapport is tracked by FASTT, which reveals if you're able to manage stress with grace. This is crucial. Reply with the same energy without transforming it into a verbal sparring match in which you are not participating. A contest outsmart her. You're establishing a rapport if she makes fun of at your preferred drink or at your haircut. Instead of seeming offended, grin and play along, perhaps teasing her in return regarding how she previously took 100 selfies. When selecting one, be sure to consider the tone. Remains light and does not cut. Therefore, keep in mind the Epictetus knowledge is not what occurs to you, but the way you respond to it. Avoid becoming defensive and don't. Keep grounded and avoid overanalyzing. Stoic males is your opportunity to express your feelings. Humor encased in strength and confidence. Actual life application the next time you see her. Making fun of you and letting you see it for what it is. An indication of make a connection and let your charm shine. Remaining composed, astute, and in charge of life is a discussion rather than the best relationships start in the courts, with joy and relaxation rather than stress and performance. In case this makes you think of the point at which teasing became additional information, tell your tale in the comments. I'd be interested in knowing how you managed it and whether you're still learning. The cadence of this light-hearted back end, as with any good dance, don't worry about the future, improves with common practice. Misunderstandings in the complicated field of personal connection that we frequently discover ourselves interpreting the little clues too closely that ladies provide us. But allow me to share be advised that not every action should be seen as an indication of attraction. A brief compliment, a simple grin, or a succinct answer may just reflect being courteous but not romantic interest. Keep in mind that context is crucial. One action by itself does not define. The narrative is a culmination of behaviors that reveal the real story. For example, a smile combined with extended eye contact and an authentic, having a lively discussion says a lot. But a simple smile could just be a cordial gesture The important thing here is not to excessively examine each and every action, as it can quickly result in needless. The Stoics of anxiety taught us to control our. Don't let your thoughts and feelings control you. Also, if you have any doubts about her, to take a daring leap ahead and just ask. I think we get along. What do you believe this opens up to, really? The door to understanding without pressure on how to react as soon as you see these indicators. Your greatest ally is confidence when you recognize these indicators without hesitation, or consider yourself again and be genuine. Self-light shines through in oneself. Confident without conceit. When it feels correct, move forward. Invite her out, provide an activity, or just show that you're interested in a polite, direct method of recapping. The 5 unspoken indicators that a lady are drawn to you and make real eye contact, delicate touches, playful active listening, making time with you a priority. These actions are but strong. Acknowledging them can change the way you approach. Connections are fine at the moment. Start paying attention to these minor indicators in the conversations you have and utilize them to constantly create genuine, meaningful connections. Remember that relationships are healthy on respect, understanding, and effort. If you thought this video was worthwhile, leave a comment with your ideas. Give it a thumbs up and remember to hit the notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss any important material, such as thank you for viewing, and we'll see you later. Take care of yourself in the next one.